welcome to the afternoon version of All About the Alternative Live. So, who's joining me today? I know this morning I didn't really put it out there too early or anything, so I didn't let anyone know earlier that I was going to do it. So now I'm on, and here I am. So, I thought I'd get started a little bit, and let's see how this goes. And hopefully, we've got sound. Just want to make sure my sound is okay. And that's working. Okay. So here we are. This is just going to be a chat. I think this morning I tried to do the promote your channel thing. So I mean, you still can. Anytime I'm doing this, you can always promote your channel. So if you're joining me live, come on in and put on the in the chat where you're from and a little bit about yourself if you'd like, and what your channel is, and we can, and you can talk about your own channel. You can ask me questions about mine, and I said a lot of stuff this morning, so I don't know who was watching that one. I know some people try to do like hours, several hours or something at a time, and so I don't know. This probably will be not a long one, but we'll try to do a just a little bit. I'm trying to different times, different things to see how it works. So I don't do these too often, but try to do them as I can. Okay, so um, so like I said, if you're joining me live, if you're joining me live now, put in the chat. Hopefully you're on live chat, and you can let me know where you're from and who you are. And I believe in the whole thing of promoting your own channel. I think that that's something that you should be able to do, talking about what's going on with your channel. I have some ideas, some suggestions. You know, everyone tries to promote the let's pay monthly for subscriptions to all kinds of ones that are out there to do editing software, to do everything, and I believe in doing the stuff that is going to make you. Obviously, if you want to make money, you can't spend money you don't have yet. So I found the free ones, and I'm willing to share them all with you guys and talk about them. So let's see what's out there, and if you have any suggestions as well, bring them on. Okay, so hopefully you can get into that, and also if you're on, and you can give me a like, and if you're brand new to my channel, welcome in. This is my clap and my cheering section and my applause section. And here we go. So trying out different things of suggestions and stuff like that to see where my channel can go. Um, I'm not trying to compete with other people, but I know some other people too try to do the promote their channel kind of thing, and they show other people's channels, and mostly that's for a membership of some kind. And although I do have a membership available on my channel, it's not intended as buy my membership and get my information. I believe in doing that wherever I am. So I'm working on that, and so hopefully you know uh, you're joining me here live. If you're not, if you're joining me on the comments later on the replay, for example, put in the comments where you're from and where your channel is all about. And so maybe that will promote someone else to go to your channel as well, to see what your channel is all about and what's and and suggestions out there as well. Always looking for that. I think that's really important to look for the suggestions, so we can do different things. Um, Everybody does something a little differently, and sometimes you can learn from somebody else how they're doing it. So I'm all for that. And I just want to start a chat and see where it goes from there. Obviously, um, I didn't do many of these in July. I actually in June I didn't do a whole lot either, but I was just about to start doing some of them in June before everything happened with my hacking. that happened. And so, and then July, I spent more time doing more of the videos and doing research and stuff like that towards some of my videos, and that took a lot of time off too. So I didn't really spend a whole lot of time on lives because I was doing other things. Um, and of course, summer always gets very busy. So of course, I don't know how much time I'm going to have for most other days. But today I had time to even do the one in the morning. I've got time to do this one today. But who knows what any other day will be like. And so I thought, well, if I did a live and we go into that, I'm going to work on my other videos coming up soon. I'm sure they've got some other ideas coming out that are going to come very soon. I have the game still, of course, uh, with the Outburst game. It just takes time to do those videos a little bit, so it takes a little bit more than some of the other ones. I guess my thing's hanging down too low, so you can't even see my lights. Can't see my lights. This one, the wind is blowing. It blows around my curtain. So I can't even see the lights. There you go, there's my lights. Okay, it's kind of a breathing light, so when I talk, it goes with me. But I can change that up for anything I want it to be. So if there's anything that special time of year, that special party of some kind, I can change those lights for whatever is actually going on. I can change it all by my phone, so it's actually really convenient. And so that's one of the things I can do. Um, turn off the sound here for this. Trying to do other things. So there is that. So yeah. So hopefully I'm getting some people joining me on this live. And if you're watching on the replay again, if you see it later on, that's great. But if you're joining me, just let me know where you're from and where you are. And if you've watched any of my other videos, if you have any questions about my other videos, if you have a comment about them, this is a great time to discuss some of the other stuff that I've been doing on my channel. A lot of my stuff about the arts and stuff like that was always something I was into years ago. So that's something that I just got into. And so if you're watching and you can give me that like and a subscribe, that'd be great. And yeah. It's always good to see that, if you can give me that like, and if it's on the replay, please give me the like because, we can get this out into the algorithm and I can do more lives and I can do more with this channel. And without it, I can't do very much with this channel because otherwise, there's really not much I can do. If hopefully there's more people out there that are interested in this and seeing it. And so I don't know. So like I said, if you're joining me now, if you're joining me live, put a comment in the chat and let me know where you're from and where you're going with your own channels. Put the name of your channel in the chat is fine, and we'll go from there. I'm not critiquing a channel. That's not really where I'm going with this. It's not really critiquing a channel so much as we can just talk about what you're doing. If you've got any suggestions of some stuff you've been working on and how you're doing it. Are you stuck on anything? What can we discuss about that? Who's Augusta? Augusta. I don't know who that is. Can you tell me a little bit more about who that is? I'm sorry, I've got a message here from a notification. I'm not sure who that is. Do you know Augusta? Is it Augusta or Augusta? Can you tell me more about this person? I don't know who that is. I don't know where that's from or what, but if they'd like to join me as well, if they'd like to talk as well, go ahead. They can join us as well. Um, but sorry, I don't know who that is. So seems to be the comment that I've got here is, do you know Augusta? So let me know who that is, though. Then we can go from there. I don't know who that is. Is that a channel of some kind? Maybe that's a channel. I don't know. So that'd be interesting. Can you tell me more? Okay. Anyway, so yeah. So of course, I've been doing this channel for in about a month from now. A month from tomorrow, actually, because it was September 6th that I started this channel 19 years ago. So it'll be a long time that I've had this channel. So, there's lots of things that, at first I didn't really realize, like I knew that I could, of course, do the monetized channel, but I didn't have time for it. I wish I had. I really do. I really wish I'd had more time for it. Maybe a few years ago, I would have gotten into it more and done so much more because there was things I was visiting, there's places I went. Would have taken more video, but it seems like now they'll be putting on old footage, and I don't really want to do that. And so I just, there's lots of stuff I would have done differently had I known. And so much I would have done with this. And everybody says that, right? Um, I would have done so much more with my channel had I known all that stuff. Anyway, so 19 years ago we put up the old stuff, and everybody shared TV shows and stuff like that, which is why I did the fame thing. I had another channel as well, but I put up other stuff, but other TV shows. But I actually stuck to the fame stuff with those ones, and then I let it go for I put them up 2006, 2007. I put up all that stuff, and then I just sort of let it sit for the longest time. I answered questions if somebody sent a message or something, and I did that. But I wasn't spending any time on it. It was just leaving it dormant. And of course, it grew with my subscribers, and I grew watch hours that I had. And of course, back then they didn't keep track of watch hours. They kept track of, I think they kept track of subscribers. They certainly did that. They definitely had that. But like I've said many times, YouTube wasn't paying back then. That wasn't something that YouTube did. You had to pay to put up your videos in back in those days. So whatever it was that the turnaround happened, that they started getting advertisers, and then of course got monetized, and now they're paying people. Well, that's if I'd realized that way back when, I would have just changed over the channel back then and done all kinds of vlogs and all kinds of stuff that I could have been doing, and would have just been personal stuff. I would have filmed things that I was working on and doing. I had a miniature dollhouse actually that I had rebuilt. Someone had actually sold it to me, and so they were selling all the parts, all the stuff that they and had no electricity in this house whatsoever when it was originally built. And I took it and revamped the entire thing, added in all the electric into it. I think it did have some electric, but it was very old wiring, and I had to rewire everything. So I wish I had the footage of that. But at some point, someday, at some point, I will show you the other one. I sold that one. I should say. I actually did wind up making that one, rebuilding the whole frame. There was parts I had to fix. There was parts I had to, like I said, adding in all the electric um, into it, so it had all working lights and some other power areas as well that you could turn on and off things with switches all over the place, so you could change everything. So I built it up like that, and then I sold that one, but I had another one that I was working on as well. And I'm still working on it, but of course it had to go into storage because I had no place to put it for a little while. So eventually that is going to come out of storage, and I'm going to be able to actually work on it again. And so that would be something I would love to show you. I can show you pictures. At some point, I will actually bring on maybe showing some pictures and get that going. Um, so I would love to do that. Uh, so there'll be some things coming like that. I do plan on doing that when the time comes. Uh, and so I've got, and that is another one that I put all the electrical through and everything. And it was started from a kit, but I changed a number of things, did things alternative to make those things work, and did my own way of doing the electrical, and so it was really cool. Anyway, so when I get a chance to, that's going to be something I will show as well. I look forward to that. Um, yeah, my husband's working on a model as well for the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. He's got that one as well, so it's another one I can show too. At some point, I will do that. So those are something else. Those are my little projects that I've always been into, and so I like to do some of those things. And there is actually a place in Toronto that I would love to go to. It's a little expensive though. Um, it's it's called Little Canada. I would love to go to this place because that's all miniatures of different places around Canada. And if you're a tourist in Toronto, that's probably an amazing thing to go to. They used to have something like that in Niagara Falls. I don't know if they still have that one in Niagara Falls, but they definitely don't have the one out in Collins Gardens. Used to be Collins Gardens, a miniature village. And you could go there. School trips we used to do to go there was probably where that got started. Really solidified that one for me, I guess. As you'd go through and you'd see all these little village things and areas that were all miniature village and stuff. Um, so if and so I would love to do something like that. Although the one here in Toronto is really expensive. I don't know if maybe they're going to have maybe half price days or something like that. That would be kind of cool, and that would probably I might go to something like that. I do find that it's extremely expensive for the short amount of time that they let you into it, and it's not like you can go for an entire day and see the whole thing for an entire day. You'd be paying for like half an hour or an hour and a half or something like that, and for the price that they're charging, it's more expensive than a movie. And so there's really no, I don't know if there's really a point to that. But that would be something cool to do. Like I said, the museums, when I did the museum video, going into some of the museums around all over North America, I mean, US and Canada, the ones that I put on there, I would love to go to them. The thing is, whether or not they allow cameras in them, they may not. And so that would be, going for a little tour or something and filming the tour. But some places will, some places won't. And so I can probably do something like that. That would be absolutely something I would look forward to doing. So anyway, so that would be very cool. So anyway, yeah. So if you're joining me here on the live, just put into the chat where you're from and what kind of um, what your channel is. Maybe what a little bit about your channel. You can put it in here. I did the promote your channel earlier this morning, but at any time, I guess if you want to do that, you can certainly do that here. Discussing some of the channels, I would love to do that. We can do lots more. I'd like to do lots more of these lives too because it seems like it's just a way to just get on and talk to people and just get to know your audience. I guess is a really good thing. So hopefully you join me. And if you're joining me right now, please put into the chat where you're from and where your what your channel is, or if you don't have a channel, are you thinking of starting one? Uh, what's it all about? What are you doing? Uh, my all about the alternative is doing the alternative, and that is this is doing the other alternative where everybody else is coming on and going, promote your channel, show me what your channel is, and we'll critique it and show it and but we can't talk to each other. I'm not for that. Of course, I would love to have my chat would be chat with each other is great too. I'm okay with that. Um, Just people don't understand that, I guess, that they're doing that. And there's some people that just have that they go on to, and they don't have their own channel. But at some point, if they really wanted to, that would be something that they could look forward to doing at some point. People are starting channels all over the spectrum, from young and old, or young to old, to coming up with a topic of some kind and just coming in and talking about that topic. My channel's a little more of a smorgasbord of stuff, because it's called All About the Alternative. I left it open to that is the niche, is the alternative, of course, is the actual niche, but I left it open to being able to do so much more with it. I can talk about social media concepts, which is one of the things that my channel does. I have several of those that I've already done. I've got lots more that I want to do with that. I'm talking about lifestyles. How do you change something? How do you look at something differently in a lifestyle? Maybe a negative connotation in a lifestyle might be something you can look at the positive side of those lifestyles. There are some that I've been considering. I'm not looking to do the cults. I believe there are enough of those. There are tons of cults that have been deep dived all over the place. And so I'm not so sure that I'm going to be looking into that. But it's something we can do in the future to maybe do. Uh, so that's something that we can look forward to any of those. Now I can still, of course, obviously, I'm not leaving myself to that I can't do the cults, because it is still different lifestyle and an alternative. So I may do those anyway, but way, way down the road, because like I said, there are too many of them already out there, like Scientology and Mormonism and polygamy or something like that. And there are lots of those channels out there, and surprises are going to come from my channel in the future with some other ones. Right now, I'm doing the one that nobody really wants to talk about right now. I guess I've decided that I'm going to do it. A couple of channels that I was watching sort of vanished into thin air because they don't want to talk about being Jewish. You've left it open. You really, I think they've left a hole, because too many now are either on YouTube, they're Mormons, or they're Christian, and they're toting the Bible of being Jesus, 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 and stuff like that, um, and quoting that's the most important thing, and it's just, I guess I'm listening to that and going, well, that's great, and that's what you believe. That's fine. But remember that there are other cultures out there. There are other people out there. And I guess I'm taking it from that point of view. That it's not just that. It's not just your religion isn't the only one out there. Have some sensitivity to the fact that there are other religions out there. You know, so I guess saying that you're not going to be you're not wholesome if you're not doing exactly what somebody else says so is kind of cultish too. I think that that's kind of, it's not looking at both sides. It's not looking at everything that you could possibly do. And I think they miss something, because I've been going through theology. I've been doing the whole thing of going through theology and learning about some of the stuff that behavioral sciences. And I downloaded an entire uh, curriculum, actually, and I don't know how many books there are. There are so many books to this thing that is overwhelming, to say the least. And I'd love to actually start up. You can do it right here with this channel. I'm sure I can do it with this channel because of the alternativeness of this channel. That I could take a section of, well, take one of those books, like the Introduction to Theology, and introduce that, and um, and we can discuss what's actually in theology. That even in the first paragraph actually says something to the effect, and I'm not, don't have it right in front of me at the moment. I can get it. It's on my system, but um, it does say to question the validity of God, actually, and what it is, and what God is all about, and question what your faith is, is part of theology. It's the first paragraph of the first uh, part of the introduction. Is to question what you know, what you believe in, and then learn about what other cultures and what other beliefs do have. It actually explains what agnostic is. It explains what atheism is. Talks about all like different cultures, how they are part of the religions and everything. Theology doesn't just envelope Christianity. It actually shows in that book. It actually embraces the other theologies and things like that. So there actually does. It's all part of it. And so I actually would love to go through step by step in those books. This isn't going through the Bible or the Torah or the Book of Mormon or the Dianetics or anything like that. We can still do that because I do have copies of those, but that's not really where I'm going with this. So I'm actually looking at taking behavioral science, taking up that entire thing. It does mention about being ordained to be able to do marriages. So you can do something like that. It's not really where I'm going with it. I'm not looking to become a religious leader of any kind, but it was an interest to me to just learn, to read through these books and learn. And there's so much. There's so much ideology. There's like I said, it's all behavioral sciences. So a whole bunch of different things are all enveloped into one big package of these books. And I would like to sit down with other spiritual leaders and learn their take on how these books are perceived and what the ideal is. Those are something that's so important. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. I really do want to do that. So that's the plan I do have. So that's where we're at with this. So I would love to do more as time permits, and I know that time is coming sooner than later. I will have the time to actually sit down and do a lot of these things, and so that's my plan. So that's really where I'm at with this. There's going to be lots more that I can cover, lots more that I can do, and so that's really where I'm at. So if something that's interesting to you to actually learn some of that stuff, I would love to actually create a channel or not a channel, but I would like to take part of this channel and use it in that tone as well. That'd be fantastic if I could do that. So, you know, if that's something of interest to you, please put it into the comments that you'd like to join me on that, and I will get some videos going where we can do some lives on it. I'd rather do it as a live because then we can discuss it, and that would be actually really helpful to that. Because we learn from each other by doing that. If I can actually give copies of these books, now I got them all for free. I did get them all for free. Yes, I know. The alternative thing is to do, you're getting all this stuff for free. But yes, um, I got most of it either downloaded from one particular site that I actually got all these books from, or I got them from somewhere else and looked them up. And um, so I have copies of them. They're not huge files; they're actually very small files. They can be shared very easily. So I'm looking at starting up a Facebook group that I can put the files into the Facebook, um, into the file section of the Facebook group, and then anybody can download the file. And if we're downloading the file, and then we set up a time and we can go through the books, just like you would do. I'm not going to do a Bible study, like I said. This isn't Bible study. This is going to be behavioral sciences that we're going to go through, especially in regards to theology. And that's what I want to do. So, like I said, if that's in interest to you, if you're on the live chat right now, if you want to discuss that, we'll discuss that. If not, then you can always put it into doing this on the replay. You can always put it into the comments. Um, you know, how you'd like to go about doing that, and if you'd like to actually do that with me, and join me in doing that, that would be fantastic. We can really do that. So I'm looking forward to something like that. I think that would be amazing. Um, so hopefully, you can give me that like and subscribe, and join me on that, and we'll see what happens. Uh, I realize I'm not getting a whole lot of people coming into my chats right now, but there are people that come in and watch afterward, and I'm really grateful for that as well. That you watch after on my replay, and you know, but let me know what you think. If you can talk in the comments about how you'd like to go about it. If you have a channel, when I'm doing these lives, I'm doing the promoting your channel lives. Um, which I did this morning. So if you want to join me on that, uh, you can you can do it at any time. So if you're coming into my live now, perfect time to let me know who you are and what your channel is if you do have one, and uh, and where you're and where you're going with your channel. If you'd like to do something different, if you'd like to help me out with this, that would be fantastic. Um, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to doing a whole lot more with my channel than what I'm doing right now. We're probably looking sometime in September that I'm going to sit down and probably do several lives where we go through maybe a chapter at a time of some of these books. But it will start off with that theology concept. And as we're going through the theology, my understanding that I've read from these is sort of a caption going into some of, like, obviously the Bible is the top one, obviously, that's going to be mentioned, but there is mention of the Torah, um, and of course atheism and all that stuff, just because it branches out and creates a little, you know, talk about everything, and you can get to know everything. It's so helpful. So anyway, that's what I'm looking forward to doing. And so that's my plan for September. I think we're going to start. It's like starting school in September. We're going to start a class, and do and do the behavioral sciences and humanities. And so, having got all this, now this is probably, like, most of these are introduction. So if I can get more, if I can find out where I can get actually more in depth, then we'll get into depth of further parts of these books. And but there's so much in them that there's a lot. Um, so, where is that? Just gonna check this. So if you see, okay, so yeah, so it's a course for behavioral and um, in humanities, of course. Um, so it has theology and philosophy. Well, yeah, theology and philosophy, psychology, culture and religion, relationships, history and government. More related to Canadian government than the U.S., but I've actually looked into getting some U.S. government information on this that we can add on to it. So I do want to do that. Philanthropy, um, dreams and visions, and it starts off with actually the introduction to behavioral science and the humanities. So we can actually really start there before I do the theology, if you want to do that. So, but we'll. I mean, it's an entire course here, and it's, I don't know how many books it is. It doesn't really say the total amount of books. I know I had the total at one time, but there's a lot in here. Just in the theology alone is a total of five, so 7 books under theology. But I mean, there's a lot to take in. There's a lot to go through. We don't have to do everything, and we don't have to do every single piece of it necessarily, but that's going to be one of the things I do want to look at doing. So that's the plan. Um, so um, the philosophies and stuff. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here. There's so much that we could do a lot with it, and so I'm doing word salad here myself. Okay, so anyway, that's the whole plan. That's one of my plans. Okay, so I would love to just go through and do that, and we can do that casually. There's no kind of like start rating everybody and what everybody has the chance to ask questions and make suggestions and ideas and get feedback, and that's basically why I want to do it as a live, so that the more people that get involved in it, the more that we can actually do. And it's not me sitting here going, this is what I believe, and you have to believe the same as me. I want to discuss it. I want the communication with it. I want the actual, you've got some other idea. Tell me about it. I want to know. And that's what I really want to do with this. That's the real plan of going through all of this. That's going to be amazing. Anyway, I'd like to do that, and like I said, I think I'm gonna plan for some time, maybe an hour or two here and there, that we can go through it. And as soon as I set up the Facebook group, I will actually um, make a video, piece of my content here, explaining that I've started the Facebook group and the name of the Facebook group. And if you've got any suggestions for what the name of that Facebook group can be, put that in the comments too, so that maybe that'll be something that I'll take into consideration as well. And then maybe I'll just name the lives incongruent with what the Facebook group will be, and we'll go from there. And hopefully, I will get more people that would like to join me on this, because it's something of a passion I've become interested in a lot. I've actually done a lot where I've just watched other videos on YouTube in regards to other people's ideas about this as well, and it seems so one-sided on their part, that it's just like, you know their religion, their belief is the only one out there, and that's it, and that's the be all and end all, and no one can say anything different to them. And and then there's the one that I put in my other live, that basically, if you don't believe what she believes, then she blocks you, and I don't want to do that. That is definitely not my plan here. So yeah, be contradictory. That's the alternative. Is contradictory. Say something different. Say something how you think, that you believe. Um, you know, you don't have to buy a membership to do this. I don't want that. You can certainly contribute to my membership, would help me out a lot, and help me out in the long run. But we're not doing this as a membership. You sign up, become a subscriber, and that's really the only thing I've ever really asked for is, please subscribe. Um, Please press the like button. If you're watching any of my other videos, please press the like button. It really helps my channel to grow, and that would be appreciated. And if you can do any of that, if you can put on the if you can join the membership, that's really wonderful too. But none of that is required to do this. Um, I got it all for free. I'm sharing it with you for free, is basically what I'm doing. So, and then I just want to discuss it. That's the most important part of all of this, is I want the open discussion to talk about you know, what do you believe? Maybe it's something completely, we can look at both sides and say, agree to disagree if we have to, but we don't have to. We don't always have to. It's always going to be one person believes, another person believes something else. Two people that believe in the same religion, as I've always said, don't believe the same thing. Absolutely, there's no way, because you're raised in two different households. You're raised in two different places. That is how it's done. You don't have to always have all of that. So anyway, that's where that's going. And I've got plans to do lots more of the Outburst game. I've got so many cards to do on the Outburst game that it's going to take a lot of work with that. So we're going to definitely be doing that. But I'm going to look at doing that a little differently. Yes, I know I come in and I say that the Outburst game and show you the reader, but I'm changing it up a little bit. So yeah, well, I don't mind the idea that I'm going to put the card in and give you the name of it, but from here on in, I think I'm just going to say the name and and give you what the card is. Um, I may go to my title page and then start up, but it's up to you if you want to pause your screen when I do that. That is completely up to you, but it's always going to be a game. It will never be a contest. There's no prizes to be won for that, um, and that's the way it is. Um, so yeah, so basically that's exactly what the Outburst game is. I have got other topics that I can actually use for it too. Okay. There's a little bit of a wind happening here in my window, so it's kind of um, pushing my curtain off. Okay, so I'm losing part of my curtain. Oh well. Anyway, you get the point with that. Um, so anyway, and hopefully, you get to know me more, and I get more people coming into these lives. Um, then we can do lots more with it. I can actually um, show some more things. I'd love to do actually more of my unboxings. Some of obviously the gadgets that I have. I've got lots more to do. I just time being one thing, my life being another. Just haven't done a lot of those over the summer, but after the summer or out of the summer, I'm going to do lots more of those. There's going to be weeks where it's just going to be that I have other things going on, so I have to take care of those first, and then do my channel is obviously the next part of my day. If I have time for it, I will do it. Um, and usually 1 to 2 videos a week that I try to do through the regular year, but the summer is just always a busy time. So that's the reason I do that. Anyway, so of course, like I said, if you're joining me now and you're joining me on the live here, um, please feel free to put it in, tell me who you are, say hi, put a comment in the chat and put it maybe what your channel is that you have, and join me on that, and a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your channel. Um, it's the only way I'm going to get to know you, and so I guess that's the big thing. I can sit here and do a live for 4 or 5 hours, um, but if you're coming in and joining me, please put in a comment into the comment section so I can see who you are. No, I can't see who anybody is unless they put something into the chat. That's usually how it works. And so, appreciate that. And I'd love to do so much more with this channel. It's going to be an interesting coming year. Let's just say for September 6th that becomes a new era for us to do some new stuff. And it's the 19th year of this channel. I'm only 1 year behind actually when YouTube actually started 20 years ago, which is kind of funny. I didn't realize that either until I heard somebody say that it was 20 years for YouTube. And I'm right behind it with 19 years of having this channel. So, that's kind of cool. Uh, I don't know how many creators can say they've had that channel for that many years. I've seen most that are maybe in the last, you know, they actually started more or less with the pandemic, I think is when they actually started. So they wound up staying home, and so they said, "Oh, I'll start up a channel then." And I wish I jumped on that bandwagon of actually doing more videos at that point. I feel like I missed out. I feel like I missed out on that time frame to actually get my channel going a lot more than I am now. But we're here now, And I've got so much more I can do with this channel. So I'm looking forward to all of that. It will be planned for a lot more things that I'm going to do very soon. So that's in the works. Bear with me while I get all that sorted out and get the Facebook group going so that I can actually start putting in. I'll just probably put in a book at a time. Let's do one book, and then we'll go over the next book. And as I add on books or whatever, I probably won't delete the books because they will be associated then to the video that I'm doing, right? So I'm going to read a little bit, and as I'm reading, hopefully it'll be done as a live. If I'm not doing it as a live, then I'm just going to read it out and do illustrations, which I can do, of course, probably more. I can actually do more illustration stuff as an actual video because I do a lot of that through my Flip chat. So I might do that. In some cases, I might wind up doing that stuff just so that I can make it a little more fun, a little more exciting to get to know this stuff. I don't think you have to be going through seminary to learn it, and that's really where it started for me. Was I didn't want to become a spiritual leader. I had no intention of becoming a spiritual leader of any kind when I started seeing these, you know, I had some theories. I had some ideas and theories in some of the things that I was doing as an alternative. I was thinking a lot of things, and some people were coming to me with, "This is happening for me, and how do I handle it?" and stuff like that. And I know that I'm always sort of the type that tries to help people out and give them suggestions and give them ideas. But I wanted to put some ideas and those theories to actual something that would back me up, and so I started looking towards theology for that, and behavioral sciences for that, and so this is where I found all these books, and came up with, you know, yeah, some of my theory was right there. Some of it was right in the very beginning of all of those books. And that's where I grabbed all of that and said, okay, I want to learn more. I want to know more. And while I've always had an interest in cultures and religions and cultures, um, this solidified it a whole lot more, reading all this stuff. So I got more and more of it and learned and just got all that stuff. So I know I've said it a number of times now that I want to do it. I think I'm ready to finally sit down and make this actually work. And that's what I'm going to do. So that's the plan. I'm going to actually make this video. It right now is sort of my engaging video to say, hey, I'm going to do it. So I will actually get that Facebook group started. Like I said, if you've got any idea about what the name of the Facebook group should be called, and if you would join it, would you actually join my Facebook group if I did this, and then join me here on my channel to actually go through and learn all about uh, theology and behavioral sciences. And like I said, I don't believe you have to go into the seminary to learn all of that. I don't believe you need to do that because anybody can learn. Anybody can take anything. I'm not saying you're going to take books on medical history or medical stuff and then go into the OR and start doing performing surgery or anything. But you can learn about how it's done. You can learn about what it is and why it's done. Just be careful of what you're learning. Be careful of what you're seeing, and put practicality to what you're reading. Um, and just because you may have flunked, here's another one. If I also downloaded some books on high school, some of the curriculum for high school. And if you didn't do so good on it in high school, this just I happened to come across these, so I wound up downloading them. They're on sciences and on maths and English and geography and stuff like that. And while I did really good in those at school, so it's not something that I just hey whatever, but I did okay in those in school. I was a good student, but I just maybe just reinforced learning all over again, and and so I actually want to just finding them at random and downloaded those books. And hey, I can go through them and learn more. Stuff that maybe a teacher only covered this amount of portion of of what you needed to be known for the exam. That's really what you're learning is towards an exam. Maybe there's things that I didn't quite get all in that when I was in school, and that was 30 years ago, more like well 33 years ago, I guess, for some of those books. And so, hey, there's no time like the present to just learn more. And you can be any age and learn more about what you know, about what you've had in the past. I think there's a good part to that. And hopefully, you can give me a like and subscribe for that one too. Uh, you know, I think there's a lot to be said for stuff like that. That if you're really into something and you really are interested, there's no reason why you can't just pick up a book and learn about it. Um, it's what a library is for, just to pick out a library book even and about subjects that are of interest to you to learn about. Um, so you don't have to go out and buy the book necessarily to do that. But you should. Well, you don't even have to buy every book. There are tons of ways that you can download and pay for the books if you have to pay for the books. In some cases, you may have to pay for the books. But this, I have a couple of sites that I joined and gives you access to some of these books, and that's why I have them. Um, and they're made readily available for anybody who'd like to have an interest in them. And so we just go from there, a little bit at a time, and go from there. So maybe once I'm done the behavioral sciences and the theology stuff, we can start looking at, um, just learning, just an average learning thing. And I think even as the alternative, I can do that too. That's why I made this topic so broad that that's my niche is everything alternative and looking at something differently, talking about something differently, and just in getting to know something that you didn't know before. Um, and while we're at it, I also do the gadgets. Um, so if you didn't know me before, I am actually referred to by some of my, well, few people, and former, just somebody that I had. But I actually have been referred to as the gadget lady because I have a lot of gadgets. And as you've probably seen in a lot of my other videos, if you go through my library of other videos from 2024 on, there are quite a few gadgets, things, and how to fix them, how to use them differently, a little bit of information about some of these things, and I'm going to do some more unboxings and stuff like that, as well as just show an object that I have. Now, none of this stuff is sponsored. My channel is not sponsored by anybody, however, and I won't be looking for brand deals. So if you're watching this and you think, oh, I'm going to do a brand and send my something for a brand deal, it will be rejected. I will never look at another brand deal again because of what happened with the hacking. But if you're interested in sponsoring my channel and you'd like to speak to me directly, do not send me an email. Or you can send me an email that is a personal email. That might be effectively, I won't look at it, but I will contact you. You must have a way that I contact you directly, or I won't look at it because I will never look at another email brand deal again, ever. I said I wouldn't do that in the beginning when I started up the channel, when I restarted the channel back in 2024, because I have so many products that I have myself. I acquire them over time. Some of them I've acquired 10 years ago, but I'm showing you them now because, well, this is where I have the channel and I can show you them. And I have workarounds, things I've learned, things I've got that I can just show you, and that is what I'm going to do. So, so we're basically at the same point I was at before with this channel. Earlier this morning, I did another live then, and we're approaching the hour again. So I'm going to wrap this up with hopefully that if you're watching it on the replay again, if you want to put something into the comments, let me know what you're thinking about. Let me know what you want me to change about this channel, or what you like about this channel. Have you watched any of the other videos? And if you have, please hopefully any of the videos that you watch, you press the like button for any of them. Press the like button for this one, and hopefully you can subscribe to me. I look forward to everything that comes in the future for this channel. And I'm going to work hard on this because this is really something that all the parts of this channel, they're all a passion to me. And as they said, do what you're passionate about. Well, this is what I'm passionate about, and this is the best. This is great. This is something I can actually enjoy doing a lot. So, without further ado on that, if you're interested in that, it would be very appreciated. And I will see you on the next one. And miracles happen every day. It's always a pleasure to do one of these shows, and they're fun. And if you haven't got a channel started yet yourself, now's the time to start at any time. Um, Even if you just do a little bit, just do a little video, put it out there. Um, you know, I know everyone says it. I know everyone says anybody can be a YouTuber, and they can. Do it when you have time for it. But it's always something. You never know who's going to find you interesting, or what your topic is. There's going to be tons of people who are interested in your same topic, and you just go with that. At that point, have a great day, everybody. Miracles happen every day. Have a good day.